afternoon. Welcome to Troop 542's Eagle Scout Court of Honor. For Eagle Scouts Gabriel Thomas Decker, Jacob Johan Devery, Griffin Andrew Johnson, Samuel Hu Wang. A couple things real quick. We all know the times we're living in, so continue to do your social distancing, wear your mask. If you're up here speaking, I said the speakers do not have to wear their masks. Also, if you need a bathroom, out the double doors to your left at the end of this hallway are bathrooms. Not that I'm trying to be personal, but if you use them, can you please personally let me know, because we have to clean them when we're done. That's all. So just let me know if the bathrooms need used. If not, I don't want to have to clean them. So welcome. It's been a long time for one of these families to have a court of honor and another one not so long. So we're happy to be able to do this inside this court of honor. We did two of them last year outside, and we only were permitting just the family and Eagle Scouts. So we're happy to be able to expand it. We're hoping that the next one we do will be able to even have it more expanded for more people to attend. So the requirements given to us were by the church. They were not our, specifically our requirements. So I'd first like to introduce Carol Fath, grandmother of Griffin, who is going to give us the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather here today at this Eagle Scout Court of Honor to celebrate these 4 young men who are about to become Eagle Scouts. We ask that you would bless them, their families, their scout leaders and guests who have supported them in their efforts to build leadership and the advancement of scouting. Today we celebrate their journey, a journey full of challenges, friendships, and struggles. We also think of the merit badges they earned along the way and the character they worked so hard to bring about. We ask that you will guide and direct them as they continue on life's pathway, and pray that their accomplishments will inspire others to follow their lead and strive for excellence. We thank you for hearing our prayer today, and we offer it in the name of our Creator.
Thank you. This time we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so all scouts. Please stand, face the flag, scout salute, hands over heart if not in uniform. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. This time, Scouts could please rise and repeat with me the Scout oath and the Scout law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, with the people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, and to be awake and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and regular. Now I'd like to introduce Mark Kruger, Scoutmaster in Troop 542. We'll talk to us a little bit about the Eagle Group.
Good afternoon. Eagle Scout is the highest achievement or rank in the Scouts PSA program, the Boy Scouts of America. Since its inception in 1911, only 4% of Scouts have earned this rank. That means only 2.25 million youth earned the Eagle Scout rank in 110 years. These Eagle Scouts contributed more than 100 million hours of community service in that time. Becoming an Eagle Scout puts you in the elite company of a U.S. President, 40 astronauts, 4 Nobel Prize winners, notable businessmen, athletes, public servants, doctors, lawyers, scientists, and people from every walk of life. A Baylor University study found that the Eagle Scouts regularly participate in outdoor and non-outdoor recreational activities, are goal-oriented, and have a higher level of planning and preparation skills, network with others, and have closer relationships with family and friends, volunteer for religious and non-religious organizations, donate money to charitable groups, and work with others to improve something in their neighborhoods, serve in leadership positions at their place of employment or in their community. Eagle Scouts are people who persevered and worked hard to finish something they started at the age of 11. They developed their character, citizenship, and personal fitness skills that will serve them well for the rest of their lives by following the Scout code from law. So much is expected of you by becoming an Eagle Scout. That bar is set high, and you're prepared to meet and exceed those expectations.
Thank you, Mark. And also at this time, Mark will introduce the Eagle Scout candidates.
Would Eagle Scout Gabe Decker please come forward? Gabe joined us in the spring of 2014 when he crossed over to Pac 114. Over his time in Scouts, he earned a total of 31 merit badges, including rifle shooting, leather work, and wood carving. He told me his favorite merit badge was rifle shooting, as it was ridiculously easy, and he was able to shoot guns for an hour a day for free. I think this is one of the many benefits of summer camp. He served in several leadership roles, including instructor, patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, and lastly, as junior assistant scoutmaster. Gabe came with us regularly to summer camp at Rescue Falls, attended the 2017 National Jamboree, and was set to go to Philmont in 2018 when a massive wildfire intervened and closed the Scout reservation. His fondest recollections involved the outdoors. He told me one of his proudest moments was winning the pioneering challenge at the Rescue Falls Field Day with the Eagle Patrol. And one of his favorite memories was from his last gourmet cooking competition when they dug a Dakota fire hole and grilled salmon over the flames. Gabe's leadership project involved over 130 hours and benefited his local community and school by renovating and widening an overgrown trail and placing stepping stones through a crossing creek. Gabe is a senior at Westlake High School, where he's been active in cross-country, swimming, spring track, and frisbee. He plans on attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to study civil engineering in the fall. He told me his short-term goal is to find a roommate in the next 2 weeks at Rensselaer with similar interests. Gabe's favorite hobbies are hammocking, hiking, and climbing. When I asked him if he had any words of wisdom to pass along to his fellow Scouts, he said, "Work hard to achieve the Eagle Right, but enjoy your time in Scouts." Please join me in welcoming Gabe. Would Eagle Scout Jacob Dever please come forward? Jacob joined in the spring of 2012 when he crossed over from Pac 410 with his friends Christian Allen and Vietnam, who also became Eagle Scouts. Over his time in Scouts, he earned 35 merit badges, including game design, kayaking, and nuclear science. Jacob served in several leadership roles, including den chief, quartermaster, outdoor ethics guide, ecologist, and historian. He came with us to Rescue Fall 8 times and also took advantage of our high adventure activities attending the 2017 National Jamboree in Seabase in 2018. At Seabase, he really sailed a boat in the Florida Keys for a week, while also enjoying opportunities to swim, snorkel, and fish. Jacob's leadership project was to clear an area at the Jarrett Nature Center at Horsham to uncover the walls of the historic spring house, while on top mulching and planting native bushes. This transformation is used by many students and teachers that go to the Hackler Horsham School District's Nature Center. Jacob graduated from Hackler Horsham High School last June. While in high school, he was president of the math club for his junior and senior years. He was team leader of the school team that took part in the MathWorks Math Modeling Challenge in 2019. Jacob took a year away from school following graduation and resumed college studies this fall. He plans to pursue a career in engineering and physics. Please welcome Jacob. Would Eagle Scout Griffin Johnson please come forward? joined us in the spring of 2014. He had an older brother already in the troop who was also following in the footsteps of his dad, who had been a member of Troop 542 in his army. Over Griffin's time in Scouts, he earned a total of 31 merit badges, including rifle shooting, search and rescue, and wounded survival. His leadership roles include patrol leader and several years as an instructor. Griffin came with us regularly to summer camp at Russell Falls, which he said was his favorite memory, hanging out with friends at summer camp. Griffin's leadership project involved over 480 hours of benefiting his local community and school by designing and building a rain garden out in front of the Performing Arts Center at Upper High School. The garden included 8 trees, 31 shrubs, and over 1,800 perennials. As luck would have it, Griffin timed the start of his project at the start of the pandemic, which led to many delays, extra time spent ordering plants he had already acquired, and a lengthy dialogue with council over safety protocols before he could begin 3 months later. Those protocols helped streamline the process for our scouts doing projects later in the summer and fall. Not surprisingly, Griffin told me he is most proud of his Eagle Scout project. Griffin is a senior at Upper High School, where he's been active on the baseball and wrestling teams. Active might be a bit of an understatement for baseball, as he's been playing since he was 5, plays on a team outside of the high school, and showed up many times in meetings of baseball. His short-term goal is to help get Upper Devils in the state playoffs. He plans on attending Clemson University in the fall and study accounting, business, and finance, and will also be in the Army ROTC program. When I asked him if he had any words of wisdom to pass along, he said, "You should always have a plan." Please join me in welcoming Griffin Johnson. Would Eagle Scout Sam Lang please come forward? Sam joined us in the spring of 2016 after being introduced to scouting from his good friend Brian Lang, who became an Eagle Scout in 2018. So far, and I say so far because Sam is one of our youngest Eagle Scouts at some time, he has earned a total of 31 merit badges. His favorites have included programming, electronics, and equipment. Sam's leadership positions have included being an instructor and troop guide, and is currently our troop scribe, which involves keeping on top of a significant portion of our ground. He told me one of his favorite memories in scouting was when, as troop guide, he led his shark patrol to a second-place finish in our Northern cooking competition. Sam's leadership project involved over 185 hours and benefited his local community by planting and fencing 100 trees at an Upper Devon park. The trees replace invasive species, help to secure soil, and prevent erosion near the creek that runs through the park, and improves the local habitat for birds and animals. He told me he is most proud of his Eagle Scout project. Sam is a sophomore at Germantown Academy, where he runs cross country, he's secretary for the student government, plays clarinet for the school's symphony band and jazz band, he's a programmer for his high school robotics team, and participates in modeling events. He's also the website manager for a school newspaper and recently helped them build a new website. His interests, as you might guess, are programming, running, and video games. This is normally when I mention college, but Sam still has 2 more years to go at GA. He is thinking about the future, however, and is planning to pursue a career in software engineering. He told me his near-term goal is to get his driver's license. When I asked him if he had any words of wisdom to pass along, he said, "Don't procrastinate, stay organized." Please join me in welcoming Sam.
Today we're here to recognize 4 outstanding young men you just heard about who have earned the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest achievement of the Boy Scouts of America. In order to reach this rank, the Eagle, they first have to successfully complete the requirements for 6 other ranks. If you're not in our program, you might think, well, this is probably pretty easy, right? After you've heard what accomplished young men they were. However, we're going to explain this to you right now. First of all ranks require the Scout show Scout spirits by practicing Scout oath and law, which we did repeat at the beginning of the program. Demonstrate their duty to God and participate in community service projects. All ranks are completed by Scoutmaster Conference and a board review. Trail to Eagle starts with the Scout rank, which Dave is showing us here. To earn this rank, Scouts have to earn Scout skills, including knot tying, pocket knife safety. The Scout also learns personal protection, including learning how to prevent child abuse, and earns a cyber chip. To earn tenderfoot, the Scouts had to participate in scouting by attending at least one camping trip where they slept in the tent they pitched, helped to cook one of their patrol's meals. Scout skills include cooking, hiking, physical fitness. First aid, the Scouts use the EDGE method to teach a skill. If you want to know what the EDGE method is, ask these young men. They'll explain it to you. For second class, Scouts had to participate in 5 activities and at least 3 outdoors and 2 overnight camping trips. Additional Scout skills included leave no trace camping, map and compass on a 5-mile hike, wild animal identification, basic swimming, life saving, and swimming safety. Scouts had to participate in the school program or community program related to substance abuse. They earned some money and saved a portion of it to pay for their trips. The next rank after second class is first class, which includes to participate in 10 activities, which includes 3 overnight camping trips. The Scout skills for this rank are nutrition, food storage, food safety, cooking, learning the duties of a citizen from a public official, things about weather, emergency preparedness, ecology, and environmental awareness. Now, up to this point, the Scouts are learning basic skills, first aid, cooking, knot tying, citizenship. But starting with the next rank, which is Star, their focus changes to more advanced skills, with leadership becoming more important. Merit badges are earned to demonstrate mastery of Scout skills, and they learn about possible career options and hobbies. And there are some core merit badges they earn, which are considered life skills. So, for the rank of Star Scout, the requirements would include participating in scouting by being active in your troop for 4 months while first class scout, and a total of 6 merit badges, including 4 from the required Eagle list. Typical 6 merit badges for a Star Scout might be swimming, citizenship in the community, life-saving, family life, basketry, and leather work. They also have to demonstrate by serving for the troop in the leadership position, such as an assistant patrol leader, a librarian, historian, or den chief. With parents, they complete the youth protection from child abuse exercises, and they earn cyber chip at this level. After the rank of Star, we have Life. This is the last step before the Eagle, and the requirements are even more difficult. Requirements include being active in your troop for 6 months while Star Scout, earn an additional 5 merit badges, including 3 more from the list required for Eagle. Typical 5 merit badges for someone progressing to life might be camping, first aid, citizenship in the nation, digital technology, and movie making. Using the EDGE method again to teach a younger scout several requirements. Demonstrating leadership is again by serving in a leadership position such as assistant patrol leader, a scribe, a quartermaster, and a patrol leader. And just as a comment, when we hear this from other adult leaders of other troops, these young men serve in these more senior leadership positions. They're serving in leadership positions for a group of young men who are 80 and sometimes as high as 100 boys. Fairly large organization. So they have to be pretty organized, and they have to be very tuned to the communication of other boys in the troop when they're serving in these leadership positions. So, moving on to Eagle Scout. After they've completed all of these other merit badges, they have to participate again actively in the troop for 6 months while being a Life Scout. They also will earn an additional 10 merit badges, including the remaining 6 from the required list, for a total of 21. Typical 10 merit badges someone completing the Eagle rank might be citizenship in the world, communications, cooking. Everyone loves to cook. I hear from more boys after they leave our troop years later that the greatest skill they learned through the Scouts was cooking, including my own boys. Personal fitness, environmental science, personal management, small boat sailing, engineering, game design, and American Air. As I said earlier, community service is required for every rank, but for Eagle, the Scouts are required to lead their own service project, which you've heard a little bit about when Mark was explaining, introducing them. Developing and giving leadership to others in a project helpful to their religious institution, school, community organization, which typically could be as high as close to 200 hours or more of effort. Demonstrating this leadership by serving in a leadership position, which now is at the most senior level, which would be a senior patrol leader, a scribe, a quartermaster, and/or patrol leader. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our trail to Eagle. These 4 young men have climbed this long trail over many years. They have reached the goal of Eagle Scout. We will now ask them to come, or no, we're not asking them to come forward yet. I think we're doing the trail to Eagle next. Yes. So thank you, David. I forgot to introduce you. David Malmy is one of our citizen scout. I apologize for not introducing him before he came up. So this, we've changed our agenda around because we're not following our normal agenda, and I thought we were bringing them up next. But next, we're going to do our Trail to the Eagle video, which was prepared by Mike Myers, a member of our troop committee. Please enjoy. This time I'd like to introduce Peter C. Johnson, an Eagle Scout, grandfather of Griffin, who will talk about and some recognition to the Eagle Scouts.
I'd first like to check, can everyone hear me? Good. I need to explain that some of what you'll hear from me is a bit of a repetition of what you've already heard. But I have tried to incorporate some of the things about each of the Scouts receiving the Eagle Award today in my presentation. It is an honor and a privilege to recognize 4 young men, Gabriel Thomas Decker, Jacob Johann Devery, Samuel Hugh Wang, and my grandson, Griffin Andrew Johnson, as recipients of Scouting's highest honor, the Eagle Scout Award. 3 of these individuals each have a brother who earned the Eagle Scout, a truly remarkable achievement. Earning Eagle Scout is a challenging task under normal circumstances, but these 4 Scouts had to cope with the devastating impacts of the COVID pandemic. Troop meetings were no longer being held. Summer camp was canceled. Merit badges could not be earned for several months, along with many other disruptions to their lives. But they succeeded, and I believe that 5 characteristics were key for each of them as they completed their Eagle Scout requirements. They are dedication, leadership, commitment, perseverance, and adaptability. Griffin Johnson's Eagle project involved preparing and planting a 2,500 square foot rain garden at Upper Dublin High School. His project, together with descriptions of each recipient's project, is described in detail in the program. 3 things about Griffin's project impressed me. Because his project was scheduled to begin in late March, the hundreds of plants, bushes, and trees for the project had been delivered to his father's storage yard in early March. Griffin had to water these plantings almost daily over a 3-month period to keep them alive. He also had to develop numerous versions of COVID safety protocols to be followed during the project's implementation. Finally, dozens of volunteers, including sports teammates, scouts, adults, and friends, worked over a very hot 2-day weekend in late June to complete the project. I invite you to visit the garden this spring. It is located at Upper Dublin High School's Arts and Performing Center. I am certain that Gabriel, Jacob, and Samuel faced equally daunting challenges while completing their projects, which were also completed during the pandemic. Gabriel's trail renovation project at Wissahickon Middle School involved cleaning and widening an existing overgrown trail and building stepping stones in a small creek that crosses the trail. Jacob's transformation of an historic site at the Jarrett Nature Center involved uncovering the walls of an historic spring house and mulching and planting native bushes. Samuel's project involved planting and fencing 100 trees at an Upper Dublin park and was part of the township's beautification project. It also included removing invasive plant species to stabilize the creek bank and provide wildlife habitat. Please note that all 4 of these projects involved improving the environment we live in and resulted in permanent benefits for all to enjoy. Each of these scouts has experienced instances when the skills they learned in scouting resulted in some very interesting outcomes. Gabriel decided to take a group of friends on an overnight camping trip. For Gabriel, planning and organizing the trip was second nature. After all, he had done it many times as a scout. His friends, who had no camping experience, were amazed that he had the skills and knowledge to pull off the trip without a hitch, and they really enjoyed the experience. Jacob's moment was when he used his scouting skills to assist in the rescue of 2 adults who shall remain unnamed from a strong sea current during the troop's sea-based high-adventure trip. Samuel's moment was a gourmet cooking competition when his patrol had to work as a team to prepare a gourmet meal. Despite the inexperience of some of his younger patrol members, his patrol finished in second place. Griffin decided to organize and coordinate a trip to a village game for the entire Upper Dublin varsity baseball team. This included reserving a section where they could all sit together, complying with COVID restrictions, obtaining tickets, arranging transportation, and sponsoring a post-game cookout at his house with his dad cooking meals. The common threads in all 4 of these events are leadership and initiative. I'm fairly certain that they would not have been able to pull them off without their scouting training and experiences. Each of these young men has participated in diverse activities not related to scouting. Gabriel participates in cross-country, swimming, and spring track at Wissahickon High School. He has served as captain of his cross-country and swimming teams. He will be attending RPI to study civil engineering, a profession near and dear to me, since I was a civil engineer for 40 years. Jacob graduated from Hatboro Horsham High School in 2020. He was president of the school's math club and was team leader for the MathWorks Modeling Challenge in 2019. Jacob will be pursuing a degree in engineering and physics. Samuel is the youngest of the 4 Eagle recipients tonight. He is a sophomore at Germantown Academy and is actively involved in student government. He participated in creating the school newspaper's E-edition from scratch. He is also a musician, playing first clarinetist for the school's symphony and jazz band. He also is on the cross-country team. Upon graduation from school, he plans on pursuing a degree in computer science. I want to take a few minutes to speak about my grandson, Griffin. He has been involved in sports since he started playing t-ball at age 5, followed by soccer. He received varsity wrestling letters for all 4 years of high school and was team captain for 2 years. Among other awards, he received the Ironman Award from his coach. He received his varsity baseball letters for 2 years and has been a successful starting pitcher for his Upper Dublin team. Griffin will graduate with honors from Upper Dublin High School the day after his 18th birthday and attend Clemson University, his mom's alma mater, to study business and accounting. He has other interests that are very special to me. My father built a 1-room cabin in a secluded area in the woods of northern New York State next to a creek in 1934. Over many, many years, decades really, that cabin expanded into a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom camp. My father's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren all contributed their time and talents to making these improvements. It is at this camp that each of us learned to have a deep appreciation and respect for the outdoors. Both of Griffin's great-grandfathers were skilled outdoorsmen and hunters. They passed down the importance of leaving no trace anytime you were outdoors and being environmentally responsible. Griffin and his siblings loved to be at camp, particularly during the fall and winter months. It is here that Griffin learned how to safely use a chainsaw and responsibly drive a snowmobile. He began driving a snowmobile, a small one, at about 5 years old, and graduated up to bigger snowmobiles that he drives sacrifice for long rides over miles of trails. He began to use a chainsaw at about age 14 and now helps to cut down trees in the fall, trim them, and cut them into sections for firewood to heat the camp. We follow forest conservation guidance in deciding which trees to cut down for firewood. Griffin is a fourth-generation scout in our family. His great-grandfather, Paul English, joined scouting in 1928 and earned the Eagle Scout Award. Griffin is now the fourth Eagle Scout in our family. His brother, Peter Kent, who is here today while serving on active duty in the United States Navy, received the Eagle Medal that was pinned on his grandfather in 1957. Today, Griffin will receive the medal that was pinned on his great-grandfather many decades ago. Congratulations to all four of you scouts for earning Scouting's highest honor, the Eagle Scout Award. Griffin, I thank you for honoring your family's scouting legacy. I love you more than I can ever describe. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. It's quite moving. This time, we will have the presentation of the awards. I'd like to ask Scoutmaster Mark Kruger to come forward, and Assistant Scoutmaster David Mulvey. And first, we will start with Eagle Scout Dave Decker. Please escort your parents forward.
It's a proud moment for me as Scoutmaster and for the Troop Committee as a whole. I don't know if Dave up there review the Eagles pin. We're going to ask your mom to give us a hand and get this on. We recognize it takes a lot of support from the family and whatnot, so we also have an eagle pin to present to the mother. And pin to your father. Also, we have another award here as well. The Eagle Scout earns more than 21 merit badges, which is the required amount. For each 5 additional merit badges, you're eligible for an Eagle palm. So for the first 5, there's a bronze palm, and for the second 5, there's a gold palm. So these are congratulations. Lastly, but not most importantly, from the Troop Committee, we have your Eagle Scout Troop, which reads, Gabriel T. Decker, Troop 542, achieved rank of Eagle Scout November 24th, 2020, which is the date of the District Court of Review, which is his official date of becoming an Eagle. So, congratulations.
Congratulations, Dave. Will Eagle Scout Gabriel Decker, Dave Decker, Sorry. Jacob Devery. I'm looking right at him. I said, Jacob. Please escort your parents forward. Jacob actually had his district review board in November of 2019, so it's been a while. That's good. Right there, son.
All right, Jacob, where you will work as well for them to do. We have some flowers for you to present to Jacob, you will finish your mom. And very coincidentally, Jacob also earned an extra 10 merit badges as well. So he's also earned bronze Eagle Palm and a gold Eagle Palm. Go along with this guy. And again, the troop committee, we have the Eagle Trophy. It says Jacob J. Devery, Troop 542, achieved rank of Eagle Scout November 21st, 2019. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you. At this time, would Eagle Scout Griffin Johnson please escort your parents forward?
As Griffin's grandfather mentioned, this is not, this is great-grandfather, Eagle, or Eagle. I think I noticed it's got a bronze palm on there too. And Eagle pin, and an Eagle pin for your father. Kevin also has earned 2 Eagle Palms, a bronze and gold of his own, as his Eagle pin. Lastly, his Eagle Scout Trophy. It says Griffin A. Johnson, Troop 542, achieved rank of Eagle Scout March 25th, 2021. Congratulations.
Pleasure to see you. Eagle Scout Sam Wang, please escort your parents forward.
And Sam also earned an Eagle Comp. He's got a bronze comp. Technically, I'll say he's earned enough merit badges for another comp, but since those came after he earned his Eagle rank, that'll come slightly later. Congratulations. Samuel H. Lang, Troop 542, achieved rank of Eagle Scout February 23rd, 2020. Congratulations.
At this time, Mark will explain this next part about the mentor pin. Eagle Scout Dave Decker, please come forward.
Our next thing here is to hand out a mentor pin to someone who's been particularly helpful and beneficial to Gabe in his quest for Eagles. So it's been a secret up until this time, so you're asking him to reveal the secret, tell us who his mentor is, and give them.
So I'm going to be giving my Eagle mentor pin to my dad, because basically I wouldn't have been able to get Eagle without his help.
We have many traditions in Troop 542. One of them is, as you can see to the left here, we have 3 awards. Those are all the Eagle Scouts from the troop over the past many years. And Gabe will unveil his name on the Eagle Scout roster. Top right. Is that? Oh, no, he knows more than I do. He already knows where his name is. And he'll move his, put his name on the Eagle rank on the, what we call our rank board. As the boys move from Scout through Eagle Scout, we move their names in each of the ranks. And you can have a seat up here. Thank you. Next, we'd like to have Eagle Scout Jacob Dever come forward and announce who he can give his mentor into.
I'd like to award this to my mom, who helped encourage and push me along the way.
And at this time, Jacob will unveil his name on the roster board of Eagle Scouts, and we'll put his name on the rank board under Eagle Scouts. And you have a seat up here. Next, I'd like to ask Eagle Scout Griffin Johnson to come forward and announce who he's presenting his mentor to.
I'd like to present this to my dad, as he has always been there for me.
I'm just thinking of the filming you would help with. Poor Mark is struggling here turning that camera on. There we go.
And unveil your name on the roster, Eagle Scout roster board, and move your name to the next one. Should be the next one left, right there. That one. And then put your name on the Eagle Scout rank. We didn't practice the give it up the pin thing, so forgot about Mark film. So, I'll work. Thank you. Have a seat. And finally, Eagle Scout Sam Wang, please come forward. Tell us who you will award your mentors to.
I would like to award my mentor pin to Mrs. Carol Ayers.
Across the board and move your name to the Eagle Scout rank. Let's see, here with the other Eagle Scouts. And again, I'd like to introduce our Scoutmaster, Mark Gruber.
Gabe, Jacob, Griffin, and Sam, congratulations on behalf of myself and the troop on attaining the rank of Eagle. It's never an easy task. It literally takes years of hard work and dedication, which is why so few get there. Sam, as you look ahead, you still have lots of time both in scouting and schooling to explore and try new things before heading off to college. Gabe and Griffin, you're in those last few weeks before graduation. And you two and Jacob will be taking on a new experience from college, new friends, and new experiences. I look forward to so much for you all. For all four of you, however, this ceremony marks the point where we take the opportunity to recognize you for all the time and effort you put into getting to the rank of Eagle. It might seem like it's the end of the trail, so to speak, but it's really only a step. A big one, but only a step in a much longer journey. None of us know what we will encounter on that journey, but it will be filled with opportunity, challenges, ups and downs. Your time in Scouts has helped you prepare you for all that lies ahead. Between the four of you, I think you've covered almost all the leadership roles available to Scouts. Den Chief, Instructor, Troop Guide, Patrol Leader, Quartermaster, Ecologist, Historian, Assistant Senior Patroller, Scribe, and Junior Assistant Scoutmaster. These opportunities which have allowed you to work with and lead others have had a great impact on the Scouts around you and the troop as a whole, and of course yourselves. And in addition to those roles, your Eagle projects have taken you through a complete project, from planning and implementation to final reporting, navigating a maze of reviews and approvals from both inside and outside of Scouting. Scouting has also given you the Scout Oath and Scout Law. You've committed to following these as a Scout, but whether you realize it or not, you have now joined the Brotherhood of Eagle Scouts. And you will forever be an Eagle Scout. With that comes a commitment to honor the Scout Oath. You promise to do your duty to God and country first, to your duty to others second, and your duty to yourself third. It also comes with a commitment to follow the Scout Law, to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful. An Eagle Scout, as an Eagle Scout, others will be looking for you to fulfill this oath well beyond your time in Scouts. The news is often filled with bad things that happen and poor decisions that people make. But rest assured there is more good happening than bad. The Scout Oath is not just words, and the law is not just a list of memorize, but rather ways to guide your decisions in life. What effect will this action have in helping me fulfill my duty to God? How will it affect other people I care about and care for me? Will my deeds make me a better, stronger person? As an Eagle Scout, you not only represent yourself, but also the brotherhood of men, young and old, that have made the same commitment to be honorable and courageous that you make today. And so my challenge for you is to make a lifelong commitment to honor the Scout Oath and law as you go forward in life. Let the hard work and dedication of your years in scouting remind you that you can step out of your comfort zone and do great things. This will often not be easy, and may at times be very difficult, but you are ready. Towards the end of his life, Robert Baden-Powell wrote the letter in 1940. No one can pass through life any more than you can pass through a bit of country without leaving tracks behind. And those tracks may often be helpful to those coming after him in finding their way. I challenge you to always consider the tracks you leave behind.
Thank you, Mark. And now, to respond to the Scoutmaster Challenge, first we'll have Eagle Scout Gabe Decker.
Mr. Kruger, I accept your challenge to live my life like a Boy Scout. this commitment may seem massive, but essentially committing to live your life by the Scout Oath of Law is really just committing to live kind of by the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Think about it. When you have your friends, would you rather they treat you really poorly, or would you rather have trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, but medium, sometimes cheerful, maybe thrifty, I guess, in other words? Or would you, have bad friends? I think most people here would choose to have a friend with a bunch of very good adjectives describing them and their actions. So that's kind of one of my reasons for accepting this challenge, and I think everyone, even if I'm not an Eagle Scout or a friend Scout, should try and strive to live that way. I know that I was instructed to not really thank people while I was up here, but I have two of them that I'd like to thank right now. So one was my dad. He got my Eagle mentor pin. Without my dad, I would not be in Scouts to begin with. He coerced my brother into joining Cub Scouts when we were younger, but I didn't know that, so I just thought, wow, Peter went off and had a great time somewhere tonight. I'd love to do that. And then 2 years later, I joined Cub Scouts. It's like, yep, this is a great time. I didn't know any of the backstory behind it. And the other person is Jeremy Scheida back there. He's been with me all the way since Cub Scouts, and I was able to make it out today. So I learned a lot about Scouts through my experience, and then also about life through my experience in scouting. Ever since I've done this true Scout Oath of Law kind of been ingrained in me. I remember memorizing the Scout Oath of Law 5 minutes before my first board review. I had kind of been struggling to memorize it before that, but we managed to pass it. I got my Scout rank, and here I am, 7 years later. It took a while, but I got Eagle in the end. So, I really just wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped me, and to everyone out there who's thinking about joining Scouts, or any of you are still in Scouts currently. Make sure to get your Eagle, and it's really not that hard to do. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Gabe. Now we'll go from Jacob Dever.
There was a Buddhist teacher at the National Jamboree. Myself and a handful of other scouts in the troop went to the service. A couple hundred people attended the service, which was comprised of a lesson and then individual meditation. During this lesson, he talked about driver's license, marriage, college degrees. To obtain one, certain conditions must be met and steps followed. The teacher kept alluding to ideas but never explicitly stated his message. What his clues, when pieced together, were really about was becoming an Eagle Scout. It's not he was an Eagle Scout, it's he is an Eagle Scout. And of that vein, Mr. Kruger, I accept your challenge to continue to live by the Scout oath and law. I will exemplify these values to the best of my ability and pass them down to future generations. Just one of the many lessons I learned is to give meaning to these achievements through action and not allowing them to be hollow. In my Scout career, there have been many memorable moments. On my first father-son canoe trip, my dad and I were together on the Delaware River. There was a flooded embankment with tree trunks all the way in the water, and due to the strong current that we noticed a little too late, we got pinned to the tree, and suddenly the edge of the canoe went below the water, was filled within a second. We then bobbed up in the water with our life vests and eventually swam to other canoes once there was a stopping point. A different moment that I particularly remember during climbing Merit Badge was when I had to rappel myself down the wall. I was up 40 feet above the ground, secured only by the harness, belay, and rope I fed into it. At first, I white-knuckled it into the lock position and tried to loosen it to no avail. I took a deep breath and tried again. But this time, I was descending, and by the end, was doing so with grace. Those two stories could be boiled down to the main advice from Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy: don't panic. Another piece of wisdom from that book should also be noted: don't forget to bring a towel, especially the summer camp. No one wants to have a tent mate that doesn't shower all week long. Now, not many of my memories were stressful and lonely. This accounts for way less than 1% of the total. I've zipped down a zip line almost a mile long, sailed in the Florida Keys, whitewater rafted, seen magnificent views from the mountaintops, the Appalachians, made short films with my patrol members, and enjoyed the simple pleasures of monthly camping trips. I cherish the experiences, the leadership I've given, and the skills I've developed. Which leads to my final conclusion, that is the journey, not the destination. And to all the people who have influenced my journey, I'd like to say to each and every one of you, thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. And now, Eagle Scout Griffin Johnson.
Mr. Kruger, I do accept your challenge to keep living the scout open wall for the future, as it has told me a lot. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for taking your time out of the day to be here and support me and celebrate this. It's such an honor for me to receive my Eagle Scout award after 7 years of Scout. My father was a Life Scout. My grandfather, Eagle Scout, was also a Scoutmaster. I had of his own for many Eagle Scouts. I guess you could say scouting is my blood. Scouting was definitely something I wanted to be involved in, and I would always loved the outdoors and camping, as it always has been a great interest of mine. I joined Troop 512 at the end of my 5th grade year. I was so excited to be such a part of a large troop. The Eagle Scouts and my older brother, Peter, was also an Eagle Scout. More importantly, a troop in which my dad was an Eagle Scout and a Jedi. My first Scout trip was to Rescue Falls Scout Camp with my brother and the troop. I really enjoyed this and had fun getting to know my fellow Scouts. My baseball commitment and passion for the game had always interfered with these trips I was unable to attend. Due to being involved in many activities, I learned how to balance commitment and how to handle sacrifice. Although I had to sacrifice my trips in scouting, I was able to earn 31 merit badges and 2 Eagle Palms along with many other accomplishments. I am very proud that I was an upper-level 4-year varsity reserve and captain. I feel as though the Scout law embedded me to persevere with wrestling and that I was brave and show leadership as a captain. Teamwork is another part of the Scout law that helped me in my varsity baseball career at High School. Just last week, during my senior varsity, which is 7-inning complete game against White Marsh High School, the top team in our region. Scouting has taught me to be a team player and to be loyal to myself and others. I was involved in many things during my scouting career, but I have to say that my involvement with other Scout Eagle projects were some of my most memorable scouting moments. I was fortunate enough to help with the tree restoration project, a church perennial garden, area, rebuilding a bridge at Rescue Falls, building a terracing walkway at the Naval Base Museum, a bow and arrow drive, and my brother's Eagle project, just to name a few. Summer camp with Troop 5 and 2 was always something I looked forward to. I went to Rescue Falls 6 times and thoroughly enjoyed every trip. While at summer camp, I earned many of my merit badges and learned many scouting skills. I also really enjoyed building campfires and hanging out with fellow scouts and leaders. However, I can't say I've done this on my own. There are many people out there that have helped me along my way in my scouting career. And just to name a few, I'd like to thank my dad for everything that he helped out with, my brother, and always there for me and helped me out with anything. I also like to thank my principal, Mr. Schultz, and our Dublin School District and Township for allowing me to service you with my Eagle project during such a historically difficult year during COVID 2020. It was so amazing being able to lead the building of the Rain Garden project from my high school performing arts center, giving that it will grow and continue more for many generations to come from my community. In the end, earning my Eagle rank was a great accomplishment for me, and I feel as though it is a huge step in the journey of identity. Scouting is equipping with skills and experience you need to lead and succeed. I look forward to applying these in all the challenges.
Thank you, Griffin. And finally, Eagle Scout family.
First of all, thank you to everyone for taking the time to come to this ceremony. And to those already anxiously moving around in their seats, don't worry, I'll keep this short. For those who don't know me, I'm more likely to be found hunched over a computer in the basement coding than roughing it on the backpack on the trail. If you told some of my friends that I had the honor of earning the rank of Eagle Scout, they'd laugh at the idea of me without my electronics. But that's exactly the point I'd like to talk about here and during my brief time at this podium. I firmly believe that there are some principles, honor, courage, loyalty, cheer, and service, that are so fundamental to the human experience, anyone would benefit from an exposure to them. The way that we can be true to these ideals is through the experiences that have shaped our species for millennia. Before I joined, I thought all Boy Scouts did was hike, camp, and perform some service projects. And as my troopmates can attest, there was plenty of that. What I didn't know is how these experiences would instill in me a passion for core ideals and a hunger for innovation. My hope is that I can continue to apply these ideals in my future career as I grow and learn. I want to explore a new frontier filled with ones and zeros, and using the ideals of Boy Scouts as my compass. You might be confused by this leap of logic. How could a century-old organization instructing boisterous kids in activities we performed for generations have any connection to the future of technology? The truth is that the Boy Scouts use the exploration of the unknown to reaffirm the belief in the truths we know to be self-evident. This is why I'm so grateful to receive the honor of Eagle Scout, and Mr. Kruger, I accept the challenge. I'd like to thank the many people who have helped me along the way, especially my mentor, Mrs. Ayers, Dr. Hotchkiss, Mr. Harris, Mr. Kruger, Mr. Burkowski, Jay, John, Mr. Mulvey, Mr. Weir, Mrs. John, son Harris, Luke Whiteman, and of course, my parents. Thank you all. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Sam. I've done a lot of these ceremonies. I've sat out there for many of them doing this a long time. And every time I hear these boys speak, I'm just, wow, just amazed what they have to say. Very accomplished, all four. This time I'd like to reintroduce Carol Fast, Griffin's grandmother, to give us a benediction.
We ask you, Almighty God, to bless all of these young men's endeavors. Walk with them wherever their lives take them, and empower them with your strength, your wisdom, and your love. And may all of us here today be committed to the ideals of Scouting, which encourage us to live better lives. We know that being an Eagle Scout is a lifelong responsibility, and we pray that they would exemplify these qualities for many years to come. Now we ask that you dismiss us with your blessing.
Thank you, Carol. moving on and off. So, we've come to the end of our ceremony. We do have one final tradition that we do. But first, I'd like to say congratulations again to these young men in the lifelong brotherhood of Eagle Scouts. And I'm sure I'll see you guys on the trail down the way sometime, because I'm not giving this up anytime soon in some capacity. I'd like to ask you four to please step down here to the front. Any Eagle Scouts that are at the ceremony this evening, to come forward, go stand up front. Come forward and socially distantly offer your congratulations. And once all the Eagle Scouts at the ceremony this evening have come forward to offer their congratulations, we would ask family members to then please come forward and just exit out the back to the vestibule and outside. We unfortunately do not have a reception today, because we're not permitted to by the church. And I also would like to thank you again for coming this afternoon to congratulate these four young men, and please come back in the future for